If you're looking for a way to make money during the Bitcoin crash, then this video is just for you. In this episode, I'll show you how you can take advantage of the market conditions and make some quick cash regardless of the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Bitcoin is a volatile investment, and it can plummet in value without warning, and Bitcoin analysis shows that crashes are actually healthy for long-term market stability. The reason is that the higher the cryptocurrency's price goes, the higher its likelihood of having sharp declines. Since November 2021, the Bitcoin dip has wiped out about $1 trillion of its market value, with over $250 million lost on average every 24 hours after every dip. Investors and traders are staggered over the value depreciation, but what if I told you there is an added advantage every time Bitcoin crashes? You can make money from Bitcoin crashes all the time. I bet you had no idea you could borrow Bitcoin and make a fortune, after which you pay. I will give you the gist later in this video. If you are interested in cashing out big during a Bitcoin crash, you first need to have an end goal and a plan to execute your goal. Bitcoin price prediction can be a daunting task if you have no idea what you are doing. Take a seat and grab a snack while I walk you through the best ideas on how to profit during a Bitcoin crash. Here are proven ways to make money during and after a Bitcoin crash. Purchasing the dip. Any Bitcoin investor who is relatively aware of the fluctuations in the values of Bitcoin can sell the Bitcoin at a relatively higher price. For example, 1 BTC equals $43,000. After a crash, the value would dip to a cheaper price of 1 BTC equals $38,000. You can buy the same amount of Bitcoin, or even more at the said price, and make a profit on a huge margin later when the price recovers. In other terms, you can purchase Bitcoins on trading platforms with a market order, without making instant payments, especially if you have suspected a must dip in the coming days, similar to putting a product in the car on a digital store. After a market dip, the deal can be completed and be bought at a very cheaper price, thereby saving some money on the side for other purposes. However, you need to keenly follow all indications in the market if you opt for this approach. The HODL approach. Again, another proven method is the HODL, which is about holding onto your coins after a market dip, while purchasing from other traders who are in a hurry to sell their Bitcoins out of fear or for profit. This approach is straightforward as a trader or investor. You will be affected after the market dip, but you can get Bitcoin at a much cheaper price to add up to your already existing stash. This is a major risk because should the value dip further, you might lose your coin value, but with a rising slope, you gain a lot of money for not selling your BTC as the value of your coins appreciates with time. Before I continue, do you think it is a great investment idea to sell after a market dip or hold onto your Bitcoin and wait for the price to appreciate? Let me know in the comment section. Let's roll. Shorting Bitcoin. Have you heard of shorting in the BTC trade? Shorting is a process where you can ideally borrow a currency, sell it at a current price with higher leverage than your investment amount, and then purchase the currency from buyers after a market dip. In this case, you relatively do not spend the actual amount needed to buy the said currency value, but you end up making a lot of money just by being smart. It is a risk with a huge fortune if the value dips. You smile at the bank. Otherwise, you lose everything, but be rest assured, they give huge returns when done right. For instance, I borrowed 10 BTC from a broker at $1,000 each, totaling $10,000. I sell the 10 BTC to a buyer at $1,500 each, making a total of $15,000 after the price appreciates. After a market crash, the value reduces and now at $800 each. So I spend a total of $8,000 to repurchase the same 10 BTC from the same buyer who bought from me and return it to the broker. In this instance, I have made $7,000 from shorting. The fiat way. Fiat money is simply the official currency we use daily in whatever country you may find yourself that is regulated by law or by a centralized entity. Owing to the volatility of the virtual currency Bitcoin, most investors go the fiat way these days. After an increase in market value, prior to a suspected market dip, They withdraw all or a greater part of their investments directly through their debit or credit cards or through their bank accounts. After a market dip, they reinvest in the virtual currency again. This can create a lot of instabilities on the market, especially if the trader/investor is a Bitcoin whale, someone who holds a lot of Bitcoins, but who cares about the market when it is a business interest. Like this video if you think Bitcoin is so cool. You can exchange your Bitcoin for fiat money on Binance.com with additional charges in the course of the exchange on the platform. It is great to serve you with this information. Share with anyone who is interested in making a fortune out of a market crash. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates and juicy business content.